Welcome to my channel. The Republic F-84 Thunderjet and its later swept-wing variant, the F-84F Thunderstreak, were American jet fighter bombers developed in the years following World War II. They were among the first generation of jet aircraft to serve extensively with the United States Air Force and several Allied air forces during the early Cold War period. The original F-84 Thunderjet was designed as a straight-wing turbojet-powered aircraft and first flew in 1946. It entered service with the USAF in 1947, though it initially suffered from structural and performance issues. Successive versions, such as the F-84D and F-84G, were improved with more powerful engines and better avionics. The F-84G, in particular, was the first USAF aircraft capable of in-flight refueling and the first fighter to carry a nuclear weapon, the Mark 7 bomb. Over 7,500 Thunderjets were produced. The F-84 played a significant role in the Korean War, serving primarily in ground attack roles. It proved reliable, rugged, and capable of carrying a large payload of bombs and rockets, making it an effective close air support and interdiction platform. In the early 1950s, a major redesign led to the F-84F Thunderstreak. This version featured swept wings and tail surfaces, offering better performance at transonic speeds. It used a more powerful Wright J65 engine, a license-built Armstrong Siddeley Sapphire, and incorporated new avionics. The Thunderstreak retained the robust ground attack capabilities of its predecessor but with significantly improved speed and handling. Alongside the Thunderstreak, a photo reconnaissance version known as the F-84F Thunderflash was also introduced. It had cameras mounted in the nose and was used for tactical reconnaissance missions throughout the 1950s and 1960s. The F-84 family saw extensive service with NATO countries under the Mutual Defense Assistance Program. Nations such as France, Italy, Belgium, the Netherlands, and Turkey operated both the straight-wing and swept-wing variants well into the 1960s. By the mid-1960s, the F-84 series was largely phased out of front-line service in favor of more advanced aircraft such as the F-100 Super Sabre and F-4 Phantom II. Nonetheless, the F-84 earned a solid reputation for durability and versatility during its operational life. In summary, the Republic F-84 Thunderjet and Thunderstreak were important transitional aircraft in the evolution of jet-powered military aviation. They bridged the gap between WWII-era piston fighters and modern supersonic jets, contributing significantly during the early jet era. Absolutely. Here's an expanded continuation of the full script with more technical details, operational history, and global usage of the Republic F-84 Thunderjet and Thunderstreak. Still keeping to your request, no headings, visuals, or host-style presentation. The Republic F-84 series, including the Thunderjet and its later swept-wing Thunderstreak version, served as essential components of the U.S. Air Force's transition from propeller-driven to jet-powered combat aircraft. The initial F-84 design, penned by Alexander Kartvliet, was intended as a day fighter to accompany bombers, fulfilling the post-WWII doctrine of strategic air defense and offense. The straight-wing F-84 Thunderjet variants, F-84B through F-84G, had wings that lacked sweep, giving them a more traditional, pre-jet look. The straight wings limited the top speed to subsonic levels, but these aircraft made up for it with solid stability, long range, and heavy armament capacity. The F-84G introduced a single-point refueling probe, an autopilot, and the ability to carry a tactical nuclear weapon, enhancing its strategic utility. Power came from an Allison J35 turbojet engine, delivering about 5,560 lb-ft of thrust in later versions. While underpowered by later standards, it was sufficient for the aircraft's fighter-bomber role. The F-84 could carry up to 4,450 pounds of ordnance, including bombs, rockets, and drop tanks, making it a capable interdiction platform. In combat, particularly during the Korean War, the F-84 proved effective in strike missions and was frequently tasked with attacking supply lines, bridges, troop concentrations, and airfields. Though inferior in air-to-air performance compared to the Soviet MiG-15, It made up for this with ruggedness, range, and payload. Pilots respected its solid gun platform armed with 6.50 caliber machine gun set and its ability to return to base with heavy battle damage. The evolution into the swept-wing F-84F Thunderstreak addressed many aerodynamic shortcomings. With 38.5-degree wing sweep and a more powerful Wright J65 engine, the Thunderstreak achieved better performance, especially in high-speed flight. Top speed increased to approximately 695 miles per hour, 1,118 kilometers per hour, with the service ceiling of about 46,000 feet. However, the Thunderstreak program suffered delays due to engine development and production issues, limiting its deployment in the Korean War. When it did enter service in larger numbers during the 1950s, it filled the fighter-bomber role in both the U.S. and NATO forces. The F-84F Thunderflash version, equipped with nose-mounted cameras, played a vital reconnaissance role during the Cold War, including crisis deployments such as the Suez Crisis and the Berlin tensions. Internationally, the F-84 series was a cornerstone of U.S. foreign military aid during the early Cold War. It was used by over a dozen countries. The aircraft formed part of the frontline defenses of many NATO members and U.S. allies in Europe and Asia. Countries like France, West Germany, Greece, Turkey, Belgium, Italy, and the Netherlands flew the Thunderstreak extensively in both strike and recon roles. The Republic F-84 was retired from U.S. frontline service in the early 1960s, although Air National Guard units continued flying them into the late 1960s. In Europe and the Middle East, several operators kept them in active service until the 1970s. In technical and historical retrospect, the F-84 series, though often overshadowed by more famous contemporaries like the F-86 Sabre, was a foundational Cold War aircraft. It marked a shift in design thinking, operations planning, and strategic deployment of jet-powered strike and support platforms. Its contributions to tactical nuclear delivery, aerial reconnaissance, and NATO defense integration were significant and enduring.